What are the building blocks that make up our universe?
They are called atoms.
Right. Can you see atoms with your eyes?
We can't saw it because it was too small to see.
How many atoms would it take to fill up the period at the end of this sentence?
It would take 100 trillion atoms to fill up these dots.
Why is it important to understand little building blocks like atoms?
It may be a key to understanding our entire universe.
What are some things that are made of atoms?
Skyscrapers, people, insects, water, and even kimchi are all made of atoms.
What are some things in outer space that are made of atoms?
The sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, the galaxies are all made of atoms.
What is everything on Earth made of?
Everything on Earth is made out of atoms.
Is everything in outer space made of atoms too?
Yes, everything outer space is made of atoms too.
What happens to atoms when things die or disappear?
Atoms do not die or disappear. They are simply recycled.
Are the atoms that exist today the same ones that were around a long time ago?
Yes, virtually all of the atoms that exist today are the very same ones that were around a long time ago.
Okay. What is air made of?
Air is made of atoms.
Can you inhale the same atoms that a Tyrannosaurus rex breathed out?
Yes, I may be breathing in the very same atoms that a Tyrannosaurus rex breathed out.
How long ago did King Sejong live?
King Sejong lived in 600 years ago.
Is it possible to inhale the same atoms that King Sejong exhaled 600 years ago?
Yes, I might be inhaling the same atoms that King Sejong exhaled 600 years ago.
What are atoms made of?
All atoms contain a nucleus and electrons.
What is the inside the nucleus of an atom?
The nucleus in the center of the atom consists of a clump of protons and neutrons.
What is outside the nucleus of an atom?
Around the outside of the atom are electrons.
How fast do electrons move around the nucleus of an atom?
Electrons whiz around the nucleus at tremendous speeds, up to 100 trillion times per second.
What are protons, neutrons, and electrons?
Protons, neutrons, and electrons are too small to see.
Okay, can you see protons, neutrons, and electrons with our eyes?
No.
How do you know the sizes of them?
We know their sizes compared to each other.
Okay, can you give an example to imagine the size of an atom?
Imagine there is a ping pong ball in the middle of the field. If the sports stadium were the size of one atom, that ping pong ball would be the size of its nucleus.
How big would the electrons be in comparison to the nucleus in an atom?
Imagine a swarm of tiny mosquitoes zooming around the outer edge of the stadium. That's how small the electrons would be.
What is the majority of an atom made up of?
Atoms made out of nucleus and electron.
오케이, 그러니까 자, 그 사이에 nucleus하고 electrons하고 그 사이에는 뭐가 있어?
Nothing.
Okay, so most of them atom is empty space, 그치?
Yes.
Meaning there is nothing between the nucleus and the electrons, 그치?
Nothing. Most of the atom is empty.
How many different kinds of atoms are there in nature?
We can find different kinds of atoms, 92 atoms.
Okay, so there are only 92 different kinds of atoms found in nature, right?
Yes.
How many different kinds of building blocks are there?
Only 92 different kinds of building blocks.
What is the amazing thing about the 92 kinds of atoms found in nature? What is the amazing thing about that?
The amazing thing is we can make everything or only 92 different kinds of atoms.
Okay. What makes each kind of atom different from each other?
Each kind has a different number of protons and neutrons in its nucleus, and a different number of electrons whizzing around it.
What is the lightest atom and how many protons and electrons does it have?
The lightest atom has only one proton in its nucleus and one electron zooming around it.
What is the heaviest atom and how many protons, neutrons, and electrons does it have?
The heaviest atom has 92 protons and 146 neutrons in its nucleus and 92 electrons whizzing around it.
What is a molecule?
When several atoms stick together, they form a slightly larger building block called a molecule.
How many atoms can a molecule contain?
A molecule can contain anywhere from 2,000 of atoms.
What is amazing about molecules?
The amazing thing about molecules is that they are more than just a bunch of atoms. They are something new and different.
Okay, can you see the molecules with our eyes?
No, even the largest molecule is too tiny to see.
Okay, how is building a toy car with Lego blocks similar to molecules?
If we feed them together in a certain way, they make a little car. That car is more than just a bunch of blocks. It is something new and different. Like a musician, you have transformed the Lego blocks into a toy car.
Okay, what happens when you take apart a toy car made from Lego blocks?
If you take that car apart, you are left with a pile of blocks.
What is a molecule?
A molecule is the smallest bit of a substance that is still that substance.
How can you build a molecule of water?
One atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen. You stick these three atoms together, you get a molecule of H2O,
Right.
or water.
What will happen if you take a water molecule apart?
If you were to take that water molecule apart, you would no longer have water. You would have just three lonely atoms.
What is smaller than a molecule?
Anything's atom is smaller than molecule.
How many different kinds of atoms are there that make up all the different molecules in nature?
All the different molecules that exist in nature are made from just 92 different kinds of atoms.
How many water molecules are needed to make one drop of water?
Since it takes billions of water molecules to make one drop of water.
Are all the different molecules in nature made from just a few different kinds of atoms?
Yes.
Yes. Is building molecules only for kids?
No.
How did the writer fail in college?
He failed his physics course.
Why did the writer fail in physics course?
He simply didn't understand it.
What did the writer decide to do recently?
Recently, he decided to write about physics for young people.
Right, okay. 그러니까 이론을 더 잘 정확히 이해할수록 본인이 정확히 이해해야 쉽게 설명해 줄 수 있는 거지.
네.
Why did the writer have to understand physics deeply to write about it simply? 이거 방금 내가 얘기했던 거다.
네. 그러니까 넘어갑시다. In order to write about it simply, he had to try to understand it deeply.
What did the writer hope the readers would be through the story?
He hoped that through this story, I will come to show his enthusiasm.
What did the writer encourage the readers to do?
He encouraged me to do more research.
What did the writer want the readers to find out?
To find out what scientists already know about our universe and what they do not yet know.